everyone, and welcome to my YouTube channel. If you are new to this YouTube channel, just kindly like, subscribe and share for more. So let us make A-level chemistry a walk in the park. So here today we are looking at balancing of acidic media. So this is under a redox reaction in which we balance equation into acidic media. So our first equation that we are going to have is, so we have manganese oxide plus iodide should be able to produce iodine plus we have manganese ion. So how do we solve this one? So firstly, we begin with this one. So what is happening to this one? So if you look at manganese oxide, manganese 4 oxide, it is getting reduced. There is the removal of oxygen. So this process is what we call reduction. So the reduction is that we have MnO4 negative is becoming what we call Mn2 positive, like that. So now, in under acidic media, we always add water. So we add water. That is how we balance equations. Add water and electrons and hydrogen where necessary. So with that established, we are going to say, since the oxygen is on the left hand side, we are going to add water on the other side, since there is no water that side. So we are going to say this is equal to, we have manganese 4 oxide should be able to become Mn2 positive if I add water molecule here, water molecule. So now the next stage is for me to balance the number of oxygens that are on both sides. So I'm going to add oxygen this side, so it will be 4, so that there are 4 oxygens this side, there are also 4 oxygens. Now since I have added 4 oxygens that side, it means to say I have created a problem, and this problem is such that I have added hydrogen on the right side, but there is no hydrogen this side. So this means to say I'm also going to add an hydrogen this other side. So we have an hydrogen. Let me just write it here. So we have hydrogen, we have plus, it is an ion, since water, it will exist as an ion in water, plus MnO4 negative will become Mn2 positive plus 4 H2O, like that. So since there are 8 hydrogens this side, there will be need for me to also add an 8 there. So that is how I first balance the hydrogens and the oxygens. Now, due to the fact that, yes, quite alright, I have balanced the number of hydrogens and oxygens, the manganese is balanced, but the thing that is not balanced is the charge. So if I add the charge, you will realize to say hydrogen has got a charge of 1, but there are 8 of them. It's 8 by 1, then plus. Here, I have an overall charge of -1. This, when I add it, I'm going to get 8 minus 1, which is going to give me a charge of +7. On the right side, there is only one charged, which is manganese, which is a 2 positive. So there will be need of me adding electrons, because the 7 and 2 are not equal. They must be balanced. So what do I do for me to balance them? So what I simply do to balance them is that I'll form a simple equation in such a way that since there are more, there is a net of +7 on the, there is a net positive charge of 7 on the left hand side. I'm going to form an equation to say, if I add 7, this 7 plus an x value will represent the number of electrons, should be equal to, we have a +2. Why +2? Because +2 is what I want to get, which is this value. So x should be equal to 2, then I have minus 7, so x should be equal to negative 5. This negative shows that I should add electrons on this side. Now electrons are negatively charged, so that with that I can be able to add electrons. So I'll just be able to say 5 electrons, then plus 8 hydrogens, everything we write it, plus MnO4 negative should be able to become Mn2 positive plus 4 H2O. So I have balanced both the charge and the number of elements that are present. So the next step is for us to look at the iodine. How do we balance it? So if one is reduction, the other one should be oxidation. So let's write that one. So the next equation is iodine plus will be able to become iodine. So this, if one was reduction, automatically this one will be oxidation. So this one will be oxidation. So now if you look at the way things are, there are more, the charge here is -1 on the left hand side, while here it is just 0. So this means to say I will need to add an electron this side so that the charge balances. Now the charge has balanced, but the number of elements has not. So I need to attach a 2 here. Now 2. So here I'll have an overall charge of -2. So I must add a 2 here as well. So after doing that, I have balance. You can verify that this is oxidation because of the position of where the electrons are. If they are on the left hand side, it means it's losing electrons, and which is true because oxidation is the loss of electrons. So now after doing that, what we are going to do is we are going to interchange the coefficients of electrons. So on this one, we are going to say, we are going to multiply the coefficient. So the coefficient for manganese there, the number of electrons was equal to a 5. So I'm going to multiply a 5 there. Then for these two, I'm going to multiply it there. So what am I going to do? So we are going to go back to our equation, and where there is this one, I'm going to multiply now. I'm going to have a 2. So they interchange a 2 like that. So now after doing that, I'm going now to multiply. This 2 is multiplying everything throughout. So we have a 10. So we have 10 electrons. This 2 times 8, we have plus 16 hydrogen ions. Then we have this 2 by manganese, we have plus 2 MnO4 negative. Then also this 2 by manganese, we are going to have 2 Mn2 positive plus this 2 by 4, we are going to have 8H2O like that. So we have multiplied there. Now let us also multiply for this other equation. So multiplying for this one, we have a 5 by 2, we are going to have 10 iodide negative. Will be able to become, we have this 5 by this, we are going to have 5 I2, then plus 2 times 5, we are going to have a 10 number of electrons. Then from here, all you have to do is just multiply the 2. So how do you multiply? So here we have the number of electrons are on opposite sides, so we can cancel them. So since we have multiplied, we have 5, we have 10 there, 5 by the one that is here, we have 5 plus that. Then from here, what we are going to simply do is we are going to begin to cancel. So here we have the electrons, and the electrons that are here are the same and on opposite sides, meaning to say they can cancel each other. then all we are left to do is just add everything to form one equation. So doing that, we are going to have 16. The final equation will be 16 hydrogen plus, we have plus 2 Mn or 4 negative, we are just picking it. Then we have plus 10 iodide ions, we are going to have, should be equal to, we have a 2 Mn, 2 positive, then we have plus 8 H2O, then we have finally, we have plus a 5 iodide ion. So this is how we balance equations in acidic media. Thank you very much for watching my video. I hope you would like, subscribe and share for more.